Ladies and gentlemen, we're here today to paint from League of Legends, the Teemo himself. Herself, whatever self it is. Teemo is what we're going to be painting today. I don't play League of Legends, so before you even ask that question, I've answered it. But I have friends that do, and one in particular that has won a contest and done a lot of work for me art-wise, so I'm going to reward her, Ray, with a wonderful painting of Teemo on this shirt. Now, this is a female shirt stretched over a board, yellow, because I stress going light on the colors, because if you go dark, you're going to have to go to this video and kind of see, with the bleach effect, how to get around that without using tons of expensive paint. And the rest we can talk about while I'm painting it. Let's begin. Alright, ladies and gents, we are here working with this white. The thing I'd like to stress right here while I'm talking about the white is that this is a pearlized white. Createx not only has transparents and opaques, but they have pearlized colors. Now that's cool. It adds a shininess. If you're wondering what a fancy pearlized color does, it adds more of a shine to it. Sometimes when you see the sun or the light from the room hit like a glob, a very large glob of it, you will see that there is like a shininess to it. Now this, I say this because I always try to stress, if you're doing this professionally or doing this for somebody, make sure you think that through. Now with this piece, the shininess, the pearlized white works great, because not only will it be great for the white, for when I lighten up colors, it will also make them pearlized as well. It'll give them a little shiny blue, or say a shiny green for the hat. So keep that in mind. It works great here because it is for a female who enjoys glitter, who enjoys like a nice shiny color. It's not going to bother them. The glitter inside of the paint is actually going to add to the coolness of the shirt. It won't take away from it. Now, it's nothing to really, write home about. It's not like a face-melting pearlized color that's going to just blow people's minds when they see them on the street, but it's something to keep in mind when you're doing something for someone else, whether it be professional or for, say, a male or someone who's just not very hip to the glitter. So keep that in mind for sure. Now here we're on to the pink, where it's more of like almost a magenta. It's a really dark pink, a more natural, I guess a regular pink, because so many people think pink, now they think hot pink. This is more of just a traditional pink, and we're laying it on pretty good. I had to mix this, so I stress getting yourself a color wheel. Those are really cheap. You've probably seen them in art classes, and I've mixed paint for so long I can kind of get it on my own. But if you're someone who has trouble mixing different color paints or just getting the base ideas, a color wheel is something great that you can pick up for like $5 probably at a hobby shop or where there's paint being sold, and it will help you get the idea of what color paints you're going to need, if you're going to have to lean more towards the red or towards the white to get lighter and darker colors. It's just something to keep in mind. It's a nice gift for artists too. I mean, if they're not somebody who's an actual skilled artist, then they'll probably look at you like you're an idiot. But as you can see here, this is a part I'm really proud of, and this is where I take that dark pink, and this is on the fly. I'm really adding some little hairs here. It turned out to be magnificent. I would love to see a comment talking about how great that little pink tuft of hair on the chest is, because I'm proud. I was proud of that when I was done with that. You see my mouth moving. My brother's in the room with me. I'm really excited about that. I felt really proud of that. So you see, I'm kind of doing the same thing for the ear. I'm just highlighting with a little bit of that thing, a little bit of that white. Now, I will say, if you highlight while the underlying color is still wet, it will almost be like you're mixing the paint directly. And as you can tell, see in the ear, that was just straight white I added to that bottom side of that little pink part of the ear. But when it mixed with the previously applied pink, it made more of a whitish, like a lighter, shiny pink and highlight. It was nice. And I do it here toward the top of the nose, so it's not necessarily white anymore. It's more of just a lighter pink, and that's good because depth of color, a multitude of colors, whether it be with shadows, you don't want to just paint all your shadows being black, which reminds me that on this one, I don't even think I used black, but maybe one time, and that's directly on the eyes, the little eyes and the eyelashes. The rest was just variations of like dark browns and darker like dark. It wasn't even gray. I don't even think I used gray. It was just like this dark, kind of dark brown, it was like a charcoal, I guess, but more on the brown side. You'll see pictures at the end or as I start to add the colors. Right here, I'm the little tuft of hair. I've said tuft twice. Congratulate me in the comments for saying tuft, which means a little small patch of hair, like a little group or collection of hairs. At least I think it does. It's the only context I've heard it in. But we're not here to talk about the language I speak. We're here to talk about the art that I do, and the art that you do, or you are getting geared up to do. I hope that I'm encouraging you to do some great stuff. You see here I'm doing the exact same thing with I made a little bit of lighter blue, and right there I'm just adding the white. That is white. But because it's mixing with that blue, it's making a lighter blue, and it's really adding a depth of feel. It's layering the colors, really adding shininess to that hair. I go back in there with a darker blue and cut as you can tell right there, you can see it. I cut some little hairs through there, make some stray hairs, which is beautiful, by the way. Right here, I have a lot of dead time for a second while I get the brown mixed. Now, I'll tell you this. Mixing brown is a real pain. I hate doing it. To buy it's the best because it's just a terrible, or at least I had more multitude of trouble here because I was running a little low on certain colors, which you have to try to mix it in other ways. But I am extremely, extremely proud of the colors that I've mixed here. That brown is beautiful. It is a clayish type brown. It's perfect for this. It's almost like a red hair color, and I'm excited for that. So you can see here, I think I'm going to put in the black right here in a second, just so I know where the eyes are, because I don't want that thick brown to dry and make it harder. There you go. See, I lay in that eye. This is a reference pic, by the way, so a lot of this I'm just looking right off a reference pic I have down below me out of frame. Right there, I'm putting the little eyebrows in. It's always attention to detail, because sometimes if you don't put those things in immediately, you'll forget about them after you start covering up your sketch. And hopefully your reference pic will remind you. If not, you're going to be in trouble. And feel free, if you're working with just something for yourself, kind of let that paintbrush do the walking, kind of work. Just let it walk around on its own, experiment with different types of strokes, with different thicknesses of your paint. You can actually add a lot of water to the color, and when you touch it to the fabric, it will bleed into the fabric and make like a puddly, like you spilled something on your shirt, but with pigment in it. So instead of it being like, say, ketchup red on your shirt or some kind of juice from fried chicken you've been eating, it's a color, and it may work great for you as like a shadowing technique. It could work great if you're looking for like a splattered blood effect on a shirt. And I know that Halloween's coming up, so a lot of people, may want to do Halloween-related shirts on your own. And that is encouraged. I'll probably do some of my own. In fact, I'm laying the green on here. And the green also was a great trouble, because I was trying to make a perfect green, like a top of the hat green, but majority of the helmet, even though it was green, the reference picture called for almost white in the highlighted areas, which was the majority of it. And you'll see here me laying just a little bit of green. I got this color with a little bit of green and with that white pearlized color, and it made a beautiful, like a brighter green, and it looks beautiful in my opinion. I'm very proud of that, and I'm going to take a drink of water, so think nothing of it. This is a 30-minute video, and I want to show you the whole process because I'm really proud of it, and by God, I did it all, so I'm going to show it to you. And if you don't like it, then skip ahead. Okay, for those of you who didn't skip ahead, now we're going to talk about the actual reasoning for the comments being all of your suggestions. Now, with this, I decided we'll start here. Instead of like a contest that I let you know about, what I want to do is give out some of these shirts. And if you want to purchase a shirt, then by all means hit me up. We'll talk out a deal or something. But if you want a shirt, just in the comments below, tell me something that you would like to see on a shirt. Just every video, post that thing or something new, or just give me ideas of the next shirt. And if I pick that idea, then you are the winner. Now, I'm not saying go out and scour the galaxy. Just put something that you want, something that you would wear. I'm not saying it like, you don't have to say Garfield riding a spaceship into a Zergling den and blowing things up or nothing like that. You don't have to come up with all this amazing face-melting stuff. Just come up with something that you would like to see on a shirt, something you'd like to see me paint, and if I do choose your comment, then I will let you know. You can send me your address, and if you're watching this and you're overseas and you're like, oh, poop. Don't say poop. First off, that's a terrible word. In fact, it sounds worse than the curse word. But don't fret, because I will send it to you. It may cost an extra $10 on my behalf, but you're watching my video. You're being my internet pal. Why would I leave you hanging high and dry? Now, if we were sending something huge or something, it'd be a different story. But this is just a T-shirt, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're in the UK or you're in Zimbabwe or wherever there is, and as long as there's mail or UPS can get to you or something, I will send it to you, and I will not have a problem with it. So go right ahead and do that. So that is exactly, we're pretty much self-explanatory what's going on here. I'm adding the shadowing, the darker red with the red, but like I said, we'll finish up what I was talking about in the comments below. Do it. I'm going to mention it again probably at the end. Maybe not, because somebody skip ahead, and they would, not know what's going on. So, better for you. But do share these videos, which I'm telling you the contradicts. Like, you're like, yeah, the ratio of me winning, the percentage of me winning is up. I like them odds. Wait, I need to share it too, so all my friends on Facebook can see it and they can get a shot. I don't like them odds. But don't do it like that. Share the video. It'll be awesome. You'll be glad you did. And just have like a competition between your friends who can make the best. Now, I'm going to try to do at least one every 2 weeks of these shirts. Maybe I'm going to get maybe one every week if I can, depending on the struggle with my schedule and my job. But in the event that I do, I got to work on MMO crap and other things as well. And with those art related, there's art and props that need to be made for them, so I work on them as well. But I will try to pump one of these out as often as I can. When I do, I'll go right back here to these comments, and I will look in the comments, and you will have wrote something crazy like a unicorn arm wrestling Godzilla or something, and then I will try to paint it, and you will win the shirt, and it will be yours. So take pride in that. So be thinking of it. And make sure to write it on every video I do, because I will most likely go to the most recent painting tutorial walkthroughs type thing and do that. Do that video instead, because that just, speaking business-wise, it's smart, because then you will have went to that video and commented again. And the more comments, it's business. It's business, I got to feed myself. Can't do it in my job I got now. Struggle. Needless to say, it's a terrible place. But hopefully, you will help me liberate myself by thumbs up and sharing this video. It's that simple. That's simple. You don't have to go, bring me food to my house and feed me like a baby bird. You can just do it by doing that. Now you'll see here, I've got more of a dingy brassy color, and which really worked out good for the telescope, because you got the white, the pearlized white mixed with the greenish yellow, and it makes almost like a dingy brass. Like this guy's had this little telescope. Sorry, it took me a minute to figure out what that word was. Telescope, and I'm adding that green as well in some few highlighted spots, because he's going to have some dingy green gloves, like some leathery green gloves, and I want to add depth to it, because I'm going to go back in and probably cover most of that up, but some of it will be seen through, and I add like a texture, like a leathery type texture. Now right here I'm hitting the dark spots of the maps, where I'm going to be putting in a lot of the shading. Right there I'm running a little seam, a little small area of like the lighter white and the lighter green, to give it a highlighted area. It looks very good. Right, when we go back in there and line that, it'll look even better. It'll make it pop. Now I have a little. Okay, here we go. I've decided to use yellow. Now it took me a minute. I need to start cutting back some of that filler there, because that just dead shot right there. But I'm adding the yellow because it's like a dingish, yellowish, brownish looking map, and you may got to keep true to your colors. That's one thing you have to do, because like I was telling my brother while I was doing this, you got to try to stick close to the colors that are on the reference pic, because no one paints a purple Sonic unless of course you're trying to be abstract, because people will see Sonic the Hedgehog and they go, why is that not blue? And then you'll be like, I don't know, and be like, you got a lot of splaining to do. And then you'll realize you're on the set of I Love Lucy, and you'll rush yourself back to the TARDIS in hopes that the Doctor will take you back to the future, because I Love Lucy has not been a show, like a recent show, in quite some time. Unless you fell asleep watching TV Land, that is also an option. But I would much rather be friends with the Doctor instead of just having a weird dream about I Love Lucy. So yeah, I'm done on that trip. Now I put some light blue, very light blue. I just add a little bit of blue to the already, visible bucket of white I have to my right. You can't see. I just said visible, like you can visualize it. You can't see it, but it's there. It's a magic bucket. It's right next to my unicorn ranch, and my alligator pit that I stole from Wheezy Waiter. Oh, we're getting real deep in the craziness here. I'm not really running out of things to talk about, because I'm really talkative. But you're seeing what's going on. I mean, if you're watching this, I'm just adding mixed colors, which it's easy to mix these colors, and I stress that you mix enough, but not too much. Don't waste it. That's a good one. That's some good stuff. Don't waste your colors, but by all means, don't not mix enough, because believe me, if you wanted to do 2 gloves the same color and you mixed only enough paint for 1 glove, then you're going to be in trouble, and you're not going to be able to do the second glove to look identical unless you've measured it out. And to be honest, you're an artist. You don't measure nothing out unless you're some kind of weird artist that pays attention to details. I just let it flow like a mighty river. I just kicked a rock over, and a mighty river flew out, and that river of creativity is pouring out on this shirt, and just a vibrant, crazy display of Teemo. And I don't know any references in association to Teemo. I think that's a beating stick, though. Correct me if I'm wrong. He's got the telescope there looking, and he's got a beat. He or she, I'm sorry. I also point that out because I have not even did that much research. The picture's cute, and it's got some pink in it, but that doesn't mean nothing. But it has a beaten stick. So yeah. I'm assuming that is a shillelagh of some sort that he lays the smack down to all them haters that be pushing the lane. Listen to me, my feeble attempts to try to sound League of Legends hip. I don't know, all you LOL fans out there will be like, he don't play the game, what a noob. But yeah, feel free to say that in the comments. I'm perfectly fine with you saying that, because that's a comment, and whether they be positive or negative, you're still discussing things, and in the long run, technically, that helps me. So yeah, you see there, I had a little green mess up. You didn't see there. You can rewind it if you want, but you don't have to. But I just had a little drop of green fall on that rope area on the backpack, and that was kind of a little problem. But I worked it out. A little bit of water diluted that green back down, and then I used that what appears to be a purple color, but it's not purple. On the screen it does. It looks purple, but it's more of like a dingy brown, which is the color I was talking about earlier that I used instead of black. Like, I lined everything like I would with black, and I hit which it had a lot of shading, and which you'll see as I start layering it on, there's a lot of shading going on here, and I've started it. This is where I start the shading. And about here in a second, I run out of video, and then I have to run inside, dump it like I have before, because I can't afford a better memory card, which is a pain in the rectum. Let me just go ahead and say that. If you want to get into this and be serious and you're deep in the artistic juju, don't be kicked out of it by going and having to sit in your computer chair while you wait for your computer to dump the videos off your camera. So be prepared there. If you want to be an artist dropping videos online, that's a bit of knowledge right there. You need to write that down. If you're taking notes, make sure you start a new page because that is important. Really make those bold words. But here we are. There we are. Look at that. You see that shadow right there I just dropped? Beautimous. And we're adding, to be honest, I'm really proud of myself with the color and the shading I'm doing without using the color black. Because I remember in art school, my art teacher, Mr. Markham, I think he probably never watched this, but in the event he watched it, he'd be like, Patrick, your technique's terrible. Or something like that. Anyway, the point is, he told me don't use black so much, Patrick. He says, I know that you're a person that likes a cartoony feel. You're more of a very, very, I don't know how you would put it. I don't know how you put it. But I use a lot of black. I use a lot of black outlines. More of a comic book style artist. And he said, start using less black, and you'll be proud that you did. And I'm starting to do that, and I see where he's coming from. Because the black, like if you were going to draw a picture of yourself, to use an example, or a portrait of one of your friends, you don't want to use black. Because if you're looking yourself in the mirror, when you're done with this video, get up and go look in the mirror, you'll notice that you don't have a black outline. You don't at all. You're not a cartoon. And if you're wanting to paint realistically, you don't need to use a lot of black. Even the darkest spots of your face are usually not black. They're more of just a darker flesh tone, where the shadow is, not picking a lot of light up, and it's more, say, a brownish color. You got to really, really look at something. I say that like you're like, I look at things every day, Patrick, but next time you're looking at someone, just look at them. Don't look at what your mind is just constantly recorded down to look like, and if you see them different one day, you're like, oh, something's different. Oh, you got a haircut. Don't do like that. Don't let a drastic change in the person's appearance, really make you realize that you wouldn't been looking at them. Really look at every detail in their face, how it flows, and that's going to help you as an artist, observing. I'm not saying going out in public, freaking people out at the bus station because you're ogling their face and like, hey, buddy, could you quit looking at my face? That's scaring my wife. And she's like, don't say anything, Harold. He might bite you or something. He could be on the bath salts. And then they think you're on the bath salts. Instead, they send a text to their friend or the cops. I think you can actually send text to cops now. I know in this area you can, which is stupid, by the way. What if you're driving down the road and you want to send a text? And it's like, oh, I'm going to... But anyway, that's a whole different topic. But yeah, text the law. There's a big ballroom or blitz, and there's fights, and people are puking on stuff, and you get uppercutted in your jejunum, and you spew on the floor, and then you have to pay to clean that up. The point is don't oogle people with caution. And I completely went off topic. But right now I'm just doing some lining, and it's a long video. Like I said, we're drawing to a close because the pants and just a few minor adjustments and some highlights is what's coming up. But just look at people. Study the world around you. Don't just document the stuff that isn't very important. Just be like, whatever. Really look at it. Really analyze things, and it's going to help you as an artist, both with memorization of what you're seeing, how to draw something from memory. It's going to help your memory, and it's actually, in the long run, going to help you probably not get some kind of memory loss disease with Alzheimer's or whatever it's called. I hate that. So many people call it old-timers or whatever diseases around here, and I'm like, oh, come on, cut me a break. Point is, don't use your brain. You have it for a very short period of time, so use it to help expand your creativity. You guys are like, man, Patrick's going deep on us. Patrick's going Bob Ross. Patrick's out in the ether, man. You're getting crazy on us, brah. But as you can see here, I'm just hitting the lining up, finishing up some of the lines in the strap around the head. Man, just look at that. If I used a lot of black on this, by now you would have already it would have looked beautiful. Don't get me wrong, it'll still look good. But it wouldn't look as good. Because this adds more of a depth. It doesn't smash your face. The color white and the color black just smash your face. They just attack your eye holes and go, look at me. And you don't want that. You want to use as little of that as possible. You want subtlety as you want subtle detail. And to do these browns the right way, you're doing it. You're doing yourself a justice as an artist. People are going to look at this, and if they're truly a connoisseur, connoisseur for the people who think I actually think that's the pronunciation. Squidbillies reference there with the connoisseur. Point is, they're gonna think that you're a good artist. They're gonna know that you're learning, you're expanding your artistic mature. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. You get the point. At this point of the conversation, it's been almost 30 minutes. I've dropped some mean stuff on you. I'm gonna drop it all at once. Then you'll be like, well, I seen one video. I learned the keys of the universe, and now I don't have to worry about watching any more of Patrick's videos because he's done told me the keys. He's unleashed the keys. He's Alicia Keys. She's a great musician. She's very attractive too. I'm just off on all these tangents right now. Anyway, I'm going to the belt here. You guys are really enjoying this one. I'm going to do this. If you like this more open, like Patrick has, pointed out the most important parts of the art and now is just derping, let me know because I'm enjoying it. Talking to myself in my living room while I watch the video live. The belt buckle right there is cool. I like that. I used some gray, a little bit of gray there with some white, that pearlized white to make it really pop, make it like a silvery color. And I'm using the actual, see right there, that is the actual almost, non-tampered with color that I use for the whole shadowing. And as you can tell, it's not black. It's more of a, I don't know, it's like I want to say like a dark, like a plum, but it's not red. It's not really purpley either. It's got a brown feel to it. I'm really digging that instead of using black, if you're getting what I'm saying. And there's my highlights on the legs. You see, as it dries, it's gonna get a little less, vibrant or like standout-ish, I guess. I don't know. It's really late while I'm doing this, so keep that in mind as well. You're gonna be like, Patrick, you should do the voiceovers on your art way late at night, so that way you have derped a lot. And I hope if you do, if you think that's the way it ought to be, then we'll try to do that. We'll try to stay really tired and do it all. But yeah, I'm putting the final touches on it right here, and I'm fisting the lay down fissina for those who don't know what that is. It's about to. I am. Actually, I don't even know what the original. I'm fissina. I'm fixing. I'm about to. Just to say about to. I'm about to show you the leaf, which I'm laying down here. For those of you who've Googled Teemo at the moment, have already seen this picture, and you know what I'm using, the reference that I'm using. If you haven't, then you're going to do it right now, and you're going to be like, wow, that's pretty true to the picture. And it's you want to stick as true to the picture if you can, as long as you're doing that, because if you're doing something for somebody who says do this, then you do that. You don't. You stifle a lot of your artistic, your style, yes, your artistic creation and allowing something to go and flow. You're gonna lay that aside for a minute because you're gonna stick straight to it. You're gonna do what they want. You're gonna get your payday, and you're gonna go about your business, back to your own personal projects that you can get crazy with. But always try to stick to the reference, and this is the reference, and I'm sticking as closely as I can to it with a little bit of zazz. I don't put as much detail in the leaf as I have in the rest because I'm going to be honest, this video is long because I have put a lot of detail into Teemo. This dude or dudette really got the working over on the deets, and I hope the recipient of this shirt, Ray, one of the moderators. She has done a lot of stuff, drew some pictures for me, and been real nice. And I figured I would help her out. She keeps the riffraff out of the live stream, which is good. Go to the live stream. There'll be a link in the description below. I do live streams at least 1 or 2 a week, so go there if you want to talk to me live and be like, I just typed it. Let's see what he says. Oh, Patrick loves sausage on his pizza. Awesome. I asked the question, what do you like on your pizza, Patrick? So keep that in mind. Do that. Oh, I actually love all my internet pals and love to talk to you firsthand. So do that. That's awesome. And hit the follow button. Don't forget that. But we're almost coming to a close here. I'm fisting to sign my name. There we go. About to sign my name. And there she blows, ladies and gentlemen. A little closer up view of the face. And ladies and gentlemen, that is my heat press. You just set it to the temperature that your shirt can take. You set it to the time, and you squeeze it down and heat press it. That is that simple. Do it right over the paint. And here you are with the subscribe. And right there on the left is the Majora's Mask. Right there on the right is the Panda from Heroes of New Earth. I thought appropriate because of the Mr. Pandaria. So click those links and go check them out.